evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Mike, along with my co-host, Dave. Welcome back to the Philly Pod. It's been a long time coming, but we are finally back with episode 20. Dave, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, Mike. How are the holidays, man?
Pretty good. Can't complain. Yeah, everything went smoothly. Got a new Carson Wentz jersey, so I'm pretty pumped about that.
Oh, look at you. All right, sweet, dude. You got yourself a little Wentz jersey.
Yes.
So you're still on board the Wentz wagon. That's what I'm taking away from that.
All aboard. Hell, I'll drive the damn thing if I have to.
Yeah, man. You know, I've had some time to reflect on the Eagles season, and I feel good. I feel good about the future. I don't feel that great about the season, but I feel better about the future. Like, we got the quarterback, man, and that's half the battle right there.
Oh, I think there are definitely better days ahead for this team. Given the proper personnel changes, the proper wide receiver changes, a lot of stuff has to happen, but I definitely do feel – I agree with you. I think that this team is moving in the right direction.
I think so. And, you know, one of the things we're going to talk about today – we're going to talk about the direction the Eagles are moving, specifically what they need to do to the roster in order to get to that next level. But real quick, you know, we're recording. It's a special Monday night edition of the Philly Pod, and currently we've got the national title game going on too, man. Alabama and Clemson, second year in a row.
Yeah, I got this soda pet with a coworker of mine in work.
Okay.
So, winner, and it goes along with the spread, so the winner cannot win the soda if Clemson covers but doesn't win, or if Bama does not cover the 6.5 points.
Oh, so you guys just did straight up.
Yep.
So you didn't do the spread.
Nope.
Okay. All right, so it's a straight up winner.
Yes.
All right, well, who'd you take? I'm assuming you took Alabama. You liked Bama to cover the 6.5.
Roll Tide, roll.
Say that again. You broke up.
Roll Tide, roll.
Oh, Roll Tide.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it's a tough matchup for Clemson. I'm just not sure they're going to be able to hang with Alabama's defense, but you never know. This was a classic last year in a high-scoring game. I think there's going to be a little more defense this time around this year, but we'll see.
I would agree. After a dismantling of the Washington Huskies, I definitely like Bama in this game. I think they're despite the offensive coordinator change, I think that they'll do fine. I mean, Nick Saban knows what he's doing. He's been here before. I expect Bama to win this game.
Yeah. Well, and then the other thing too, this past weekend, it was Wild Card Weekend. And frankly, that was one of the worst wild card weekends I can remember in recent memory.
Oh, dude.
All four of the games were blowouts. I mean, there was nothing to watch there, dude.
I couldn't get into it. I mean, I tried. I know the Eagles aren't in it this year, but at least you want to get interested. I couldn't get interested. Everything was a complete wash.
Like why is that? Why was that? Why was that the case?
I think that just
why were the games so one-sided?
I think it just shows the difference in the talent level. You look at, for example, look at Houston and look at Oakland. Oakland without Derek Carr, they fell apart.
Yeah.
And then you look at the Giants, who I thought probably would have given us the best game out of the 4 games this weekend. I thought they would have put up a little more of a fight, but Aaron Rodgers took care of business in Lambeau.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is playing on a different universe right now, and that's an interesting matchup this week coming up against the Cowboys. I'm not sure. The big thing is going to be whether or not they can control Ezekiel Elliott and that Dallas offense, because I don't see the Cowboys secondary being able to stop Rodgers.
No.
The way he's playing right now, he's too hot right now.
Oh, I think this could be either go one or two ways. Either the Packers dominate, or this ends up being a shootout, and whoever scores last will win the game.
Yeah, it might be. But I think you hit on some points, going back to why the game was such blowouts this weekend. I mean, you take a look at the quarterbacks you had starting. You had Connor Cook for the Oakland Raiders, and Matt Moore starting for the Miami Dolphins. So I think that definitely has something to do with it as well. I think the quarterback play, there was such a disparity in the quarterback play in those games. I think that had something to do with it. And then in the other game, I think you just had it came down to Aaron Rodgers was just playing out of his mind. So I'm hoping we see better games this weekend,
One would hope so.
Yeah. But one thing we will not be watching this weekend, unfortunately, are the Philadelphia Eagles.
No.
They are in full off-season mode. And one move that came down today, breaking news here on the Philly Pod, Greg Lewis, has the wide receiver coach. He's been fired, relieved of his duties.
You know, I just want to hold this for 1 second. I can't remember the last time we had breaking news on the Philly Pod. It's been quite some time.
Dude, I think it's been since the first episode.
I would have to agree with you. When we
remember that? We broke the DGB.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just couldn't help it. I mean, I looked at it. I'm like, when was the last time we ever had breaking news on the Philly Pod?
Yeah, it's tough. The timing's tough, man. There weren't a lot of things going on Monday nights and then Saturday afternoons. There usually isn't any big time breaking stories going on, but we have that to report. I'm sure everybody's heard about it by now, but we're recording it right now, so we got to report the breaking news as we get it.
We do. I think it had less to do with Greg Lewis and the fact that the wide receivers just didn't get open. I think they need someone to teach these guys on how to get open and get away from defenders because they couldn't do that this year.
So you would say that Greg Lewis did a poor job then as the receivers coach?
I wouldn't say poor. I think he did, a below-average job at best. But it just...
So he deserves to get fired. If that's the case, right? If he did below-average job at this receiving crew, then he needs to get fired.
Yeah. I mean, you got to get someone that'll wake these guys up because they couldn't get away from defenders.
Yeah, I mean, I think the bigger problem is that these guys just can't run. The problem was that they're not able to run routes and get separation. Now, you have another issue with Nelson Aguilar. I mean, if they're dropping footballs, well, it doesn't matter how great you teach them run routes. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. They drop a ball, they drop a ball. But they should at least be able to run routes and find a way to use their bodies, their hands, their arms, and get open. And it didn't seem like we saw a lot of that from Greg Lewis. So I've got no major issues with the Eagles' decision to let him go.
Neither do I. But they definitely need to look into getting someone that knows how to really allow these guys to excel at the position because it's a crucial position, and we can't have a repeat of that next year with Wentz in his second year.
No, we can't, and that kind of ties in nicely. Like, what would you say is the biggest need for the Eagles going into 2017? Obviously there are a lot of holes in the roster, man, but what's the most pressing need? Like, if you went into this draft, you're Harry Roseman, you're Doug P., what's the number one position you have circled on your draft board? Well,
obviously you want to go with the best player available. However, you also have to look at your needs on the draft board. So to me, I have three positions outlined in no particular order: the wide receiver position, the O-line, and the DBs. Those, to me, are the top three needs that need to be addressed.
But what's number one? What is number one?
I'd go O-line.
So that's interesting, because I would say, for me, it's very close. I look at the wide receiver position and the cornerback position. For me, I think probably number one, I have to just a little bit. It would squeak by the wide receivers. They desperately need to upgrade this wide receiver crew going into next year. You got to give Wentz people to work with.
I always say the O-line because I look at what happened this year with Lane Johnson, and while they did do a decent job, I think they need to add depth, and I think you could do that through the draft this year. But I think that's just one of the needs that I think stands out because if the O-line can't keep Carson Wentz upright, you're in trouble. You're in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I hear that. I do. I just don't think the offensive line was the major reason why they didn't get to the playoffs.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's one of my top needs as of right now.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm saying that it's not their top need. I think the wide receiver or cornerback is what you need to look at primarily, addressing as your primary needs in the offseason. Now, I would love to see him go and get a wide receiver in the first round, picking the 14 or 15. That's just me personally. It's all going to depend on who's there. Like, if you can get Mike Williams from Clemson, I would like to see that. But we got to see who's available.
Right.
And you mentioned, you want to go with the best player available in the draft. But, if that guy – I think this is one of those years where I think you need to draft based on need, though. Like, if you've got, I don't know, a defensive – I haven't seen the mocks yet. But if you have a defensive lineman right for the pick in at 14 – I don't really think that's the direction you can go this year, just because there are so many pressing holes and needs of this roster.
Yeah, I agree with that, but at the same time, I also think that you don't want to go for a stretch either, because the Eagles have a tendency to do that. They tend to reach out a little bit, and that comes back to bite them later on. So I look at it as in, if there's a wide receiver or a DB available, you know, and he's projected to go there, you go for that. But I think that you have to look at all three positions and analyze who's available at that time. So I just don't want the Eagles to reach.
Yeah, but moving along, you know, obviously there are things the Eagles have holes they need to address. And what I want to do now, there was actually a cool article that came out today in the Inquirer by Jeff McLean, where he looks at the Eagles roster as it stands, and he's predicting who will and will not return for the 2017 season. So I thought, Mike, it would be appropriate if I run down the Eagles roster here for you, and you give me your list. I read off each name to you, and you tell me whether or not this person not should, but will be back in 2017. And then we'll see how many holes the Eagles are going to have total, all right?
Okay, so it's will return next year.
Yeah, will return. Not what you not what you would do, but what you think the organization should do.
Okay.
Okay? What you think what you think is going to happen.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. So let's start at the quarterback position. Look at Chase Daniel and Carson Wentz. Both have to come back, right?
I would agree.
Yeah, you got all that money tied up in Daniel for the backups. I think they both come back. All right. Here are the running backs now, currently on the roster, okay?
Okay.
Kenyon Barner.
I think he's gone. I mean, I like him, but I think he's gone.
All right, you give Barner the boot, okay? Byron Marshall.
I think he stays.
Stays. Okay. Ryan Matthews.
Gone.
Gone. All right, out the door. All right, Jeff McLean agrees with you. He thinks Matthews is gone too. Wendell Smallwood.
Stays.
Okay. Darren Sproles obviously stays.
Yep.
Terrell Watson.
I think he goes to the practice squad, so I think he stays.
So he stays. Okay. All right. So that's two. All right, we already have for turnover on the roster. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Then the wide receiving core.
Oh boy.
Nelson Aguilar. Now, keep in mind, if you cut him, that's a $7 million cap hit. Nelson Aguilar.
I think he stays just for the fact that you got to save the cap.
Yeah, you're right. I hate to say that, but he's here one more year, and I think then they bounce him. Dorial Green Beckham, DGB.
I think he stays just for the physicality. Other than that, I think they cut him if they have to.
Oh, okay. Well, that's where Jeff McLean's got him going. But you say DGB stays, okay?
Yes.
All right, Jordan Matthews obviously stays. Bryce Treggs.
I think he stays. I think he'd be an interesting return for the preseason.
I think Bryce Treggs goes out. I think they're going to address the speed need and the wide receivers position in the offseason. I say he goes.
Okay.
Old Paul Turner, everybody's favorite, Paul Turner.
I think he stays. I think if Dorial Green Beckham goes down, you got a nice, another piece that could fit in.
Wow! So you realize you're keeping that entire receiving core from last year. That was terrible. I'm just pointing something out to you. You're keeping that entire receiving core.
Pretty much, yes.
Wow. Okay. I disagree with you there. I think there are a bunch of names that need to go. All right. So tight ends. Okay. All right. Trey Burton.
I think he stays. I thought he was a nice little piece on those screenplays.
All right. So you got Trey Burton staying. All right. How about Brent Selleck? 31 years old. Going to turn 32.
He goes. I think he goes.
Yeah. I think it's time Selleck gets the boot. Yeah. All right. Zach Ertz staying. Just got the extension. Okay. The offensive line now. All right.
Oh, boy.
All right. Here we go. Josh Andrews.
Gone.
Gone. Okay. Another one. Jason Kelsey.
I think he stays.
Jason Kelsey stays. All right. How about Alan Barber?
Gone.
Gone. Okay. You got another one gone. All right. Brandon Brooks had the anxiety issues. What are they going to do with him?
I think he's gone.
You think he's gone? Okay. See, I think they're going to keep him. Doug Peterson, Harry Roseman, they're into this loving up mode. I actually think they keep him, but all right.
Okay.
All right. Dylan Gordon, the rookie from LSU.
I think they keep him.
They keep him. Going to work on him as a project. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Isaac Seumalo.
Gone.
Gone. All right. He didn't show you enough, huh?
No.
All right. How about Steven Wisniewski?
Stays.
Keep?
Yep.
Okay. Lane Johnson obviously stays.
Stays.
All right, now here's an interesting one. Jason Peters, going to cost you a lot of money if he decides to. Jason Peters, is he here or is he gone?
Gone.
Gone. So you're letting Jason Peters walk. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I think I probably have to bite the bullet and keep him. It's a lot of money, but Jason Peters is old and breaking down, but I think I got to keep him there, all right?
Yeah.
All right, Matt Tobin.
Gone.
Gone. All right. Vaitai, Big V. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the first name.
Stays. He impressed me later on in the year. I think he got better. Just the first game jitters, and I think he stays.
Okay, he stays. All right, so that's it for the offensive side. And we got 9 people already out the door on offense. All right? All right, let's flip it over to the defensive side now. We're going to start on the defensive line.
All right.
We got some interesting things coming up here, all right?
All right.
All right, now Connor Barwin, going to turn 31 this year. MIA this past season.
I think he's gone.
Gone. Okay. So Connor Barwin's out of here. Yeah, that's probably it. His production seems to be dropping. But all right, Brian Brayman.
I think he's gone too.
Gone. Okay. All right, Vinny Curry. Interesting what's going to happen here with the Benny Logan contract situation. Vinny Curry, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think you replace him with Benny Logan.
Okay, so you're going to pay Benny Logan then. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Brandon Graham. Obviously, he's going to stay.
Yeah.
All right, Alex McAllister.
Gone.
Gone. All right, Steven Means.
Gone.
Gone. Okay. Marcus Smith.
Oh man. I think he stays.
Oh, you think Marcus Smith's going to stay? Oh
Yeah.
man. Oh, I give that kid the boot so fast. He's shown nothing. All right, here you go. Bo Allen.
I think he stays.
All right, Bo Allen stays. Fletcher Cox stays.
Yep.
All right, Taylor Hart.
I think he stays.
All right, keeping the Oregon product. All right.
Yep.
All right, so Benny Logan, you have staying.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's it for the D tackles. All right, linebackers. All right.
All right.
All right, here we go. Nigel Bradham
Stays.
stays. All right. Najee Good
Stays.
stays. All right. Camus Hill
Gone.
gone. Okay. Where am I? I just lost. All right. Jordan Hicks stays. All right. Here's an interesting one. Michael Kendricks
I think he's gone.
gone. Okay. Seen enough of Kendricks, huh?
Yep.
All right. How about Stephen Tulloch? They made all that. Oh, they made that big fuss about him getting signed, and he never saw the field. Stephen Tulloch.
I think he's got to stay. You got to give this guy a chance.
I mean, it's your list. I'm going to put him down as gone. He's going to be 33 years old. I think he's out of here.
All right.
And Joe Walker
Stays.
stays. All right. All right. Now secondary. All right. Ron Brooks
Gone.
gone. Nolan Carroll.
I gotta say gone. I think they need to upgrade the DBs.
All right. So you're going to say Nolan Carroll's out of here. All right. Leodis McKelvin.
I like him. I think he stays.
All right. So he stays. You like Leodis.
Yes.
All right. Jalen Mills.
Stays. I thought he showed some promise this year.
Okay. All right. Malcolm Jenkins stays. How about Chris Maragos?
I think he's a great special teams player.
Yeah.
I think you got to keep him.
All right. Keep him for special teams. Okay. Rodney McLeod.
I think he stays.
Okay. How about Jalen Watkins?
Stays.
No, I couldn't catch you. He broke up.
Stays.
You still there?
Yeah. He stays.
All right, Jalen Watkins stays. All right, got it.
Sorry.
All right, yep, no problem. Special teamers. How about Caleb Sturgis, your place kicker?
I think he stays.
Yeah, I think so. Donnie Jones.
Stays.
All right. How about John Durambos?
Gone.
Our long snapper.
Stays. Sorry.
Man.
Stays.
You're tough on the magician there. All right, so that means, so total, our tally then, we've got a total of 5, 10. All right, 19 players are going to be leaving. That's a lot of turnover right there.
That is.
I don't think you have a choice, though, man.
Yeah, you gotta get tough on these guys. I think they get complacent.
Yeah, I mean, Rose was talking about he doesn't want any Band-Aids for 10 to 6 seasons, but the fact is they've got a lot of holes here in this roster that need to fill, and there's going to have to be some Band-Aids.
Yeah, I think but you know what? I like that mentality by Howie Roseman. I like that mentality that, he realizes he's messed up a little bit, but he's got to fix it. But there are holes that need to be addressed.
Yeah, I think what Roseman was alluding to at that press conference was more that, hey, guys, listen, we're not going to go making the big splashes anymore in free agency. We're going to start to hunker down and build this process through the draft, which I'm totally fine with.
I am too.
You look at how the Eagles built that, the NFC powerhouse they had, over a decade ago. I mean, it all started with the draft.
Yeah. And then you look at how they built that dream team. How did that turn out? Well,
that's true. And that's a great point. It doesn't seem to pan out when you go and make the big splashes in free agency.
Yeah,
so I'm all for them taking the time and doing what they have to do in the draft, because that seems to be what the winning teams do. That seems to be the formula.
Prime example: New England Patriots.
Yeah, that's a great call. And they add some pieces here and there through free agency, but primarily, like the core of that roster, man, dude, that's all guys that they've drafted.
Yeah. And the one guy that's always there, Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's Golden Boy's still going strong, man, and he's looking like, I don't know, he's looking like he's might be primed for a 7th Super Bowl appearance, especially with that matchup they've got this Sunday with the Houston Texans.
Oh, that's going to be a whooping.
But coming up now, we have Grind Time, where we grind about things in the sports world and life in general that have ticked us off, have gotten under our skin. It's been a while for Grind Time. Mike, I actually had a pretty good holiday, and nothing really upset me. So what do you got for us for Grind Time today?
I got Odell Beckham Jr., okay? I can't stand the fact that he was down in Miami the week of an important playoff game, and then after the game, after getting destroyed by the Green Bay, he punches a hole in the wall. That's Lambeau Field, okay? You do not do that at Lambeau Field.
You don't do that anywhere. Yeah.
No. I mean, look, I understand you lost, but punching a hole through a wall is not the way I would go about, taking out your frustrations. I mean, jeez. Can't stand him. He's a punk.
He is a punk, man. His act's getting old. You see Eli Manning and the general manager both called him out, too?
Yeah.
I mean, good for them.
Yeah.
This is nonsense, dude. Like, grow up. And he's getting to be in the same sort of league for me as Terrell Owens with this nonsense.
But you know what? In Terrell Owens' defense, he never did the type of stuff that Odell Beckham Jr. did. I mean, yeah, he was a diva, but he never punched a hole through a wall.
Yeah, but he was a distraction. T.O. was a distraction to the team. And Odell's starting to get into that territory now with stuff like this. We have the sideline outbursts, the stuff with the net. Now these things are going on. I mean, at some point, that this becomes an issue for the team. Obviously, he's a very talented receiver, so they're never going to. It probably will never come to that point where they need to get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's fair to say that it's starting to hurt the team.
Speaking of, real quick, Brian Dawkins nomination for the Hall of Fame.
Yes, it was. And by the way, that was Grind Time, where we bring our rants and raves from the sports world and anything in life in general. But yeah, man, how about that? We got to give a little shout out there to B-Dawk. Brian Dawkins, one of the finalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, certainly deserves it.
In my thought process, the true definition of a leader.
Yeah, he was. I mean, that was the big thing about those defenses. They had some tough guys, and just some real leaders on that team between him and Jeremiah Trotter. There were some really, really good football players on that defense.
It just couldn't help but enjoy what they did on the field, and they were the definition of Philadelphia in their prime. Yeah,
they were. They were fun to watch, man. But hopefully, B. Dawkins gets in. I don't think he gets in this year.
No,
I think eventually he does. But I think the lack of Super Bowl rings are going to hurt that resume a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree.
When it comes to to getting in finally. But now, Mike, we've been getting some requests, wondering where it's been. Time now for the buzz to return, where we bring you the funniest, craziest, wackiest headlines from around the globe that we can find. And, Mike, we're going to start it off in the United States.
Okay.
Specifically, New York City.
Okay.
Where a different tradition, and I do mean different, is getting ready to take place. The annual No Pants subway ride is set to begin.
I heard about this.
Yes, apparently this is a big thing going on. And on this day, travelers on the New York City subway strip down to their underwear
Oh, boy.
and proceed as usual on the subway.
I heard about this, too. Yeah, I saw an article, but I saw that you were about to mention it. But, yeah, I saw an article about this. I don't know if I would be wearing my underwear in the cold weather conditions.
Well, here's the other thing, too, Mike. New York City is not alone in this tradition. Other cities around the globe are also participating in it.
Yes,
including Boston, Warsaw, Prague, and Berlin, all over the globe. No pants subway rides.
Yeah, I also heard they were doing it in Chicago, too.
And here's the interesting now. This was started by the Improv Everywhere Comedy Club in 2002, with only 7 people participating. And they did it, they claim, as a way to express their art. What I find interesting about this buzz story, Mike, is that this is not being raised for any charity, any funds, nothing. This is just something that has sort of taken off as a yearly tradition.
Huh. Interesting.
Pantless subway rides. I'm at the pass. I've seen enough freaky things going on in the subway. I don't need to see people sitting in their underwear.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
I can pass on that.
I would agree.
And then we're going to go up north. We're going to go to Ontario, Canada, Mike.
Up north. Our friends up north.
Yes, sir. Where a woman apparently encountered some issues with her car's GPS navigation system.
Oh, man.
Well, a woman was visiting Ontario and was new to the Ontario area and was following directions that her GPS was giving when she apparently missed a turn, and her GPS inadvertently had her make a right turn directly into the Georgian Bay.
Oh, that's got to be cold.
The car became completely submerged in water. Apparently, this happened on a dark and stormy night, and the driver was unable to see the bay until the very last second, and it was too late. Now, luckily, she survived. She was fine. She was able to roll down the driver's side window before Paris shut down, and she was able to swim back to shore safely.
Okay, that's good. Good for her.
The waters, though, at the highest, they estimate they're definitely below 40 degrees.
Oh, jeez.
Woo!
That's a risk of hypothermia right there.
It is. I mean, what kind of GPS system is that, dude?
An outdated one.
Man, that thing leads you right into a lake? You talk about comedy of errors.
Yeah, you need to update that pronto.
You think insurance covers that? Car went in the lake, faulty GPS?
Yeah, I don't think it would.
Oh, man, but glad to see she was all right. Just that's a tough way of losing all their mobile.
Yeah.
All right, but there you have it, the buzz, our wackiest headlines that we find from around the globe. All right, before we sign off, I'm going to log on to ESPN.com, see what the score of this Alabama game is.
Okay.
Really quick. All right, I got it up. All right, we got Alabama up 7-0. Second quarter just started.
All right, I'm feeling good about that soda bet then.
That's good. Yeah, yeah, man. Well, hopefully you get a win. You have to keep us updated on that.
Oh, definitely.
I finally cashed in one of those sandwiches this past weekend.
Yeah. Just 3 more to go. 3 more to go.
Don't worry. I'll be taking my time on those.
And the candy canes.
Oh, and the candy canes. Yeah, that's right. Oh, and then the Halloween candy, too.
Oh, jeez. Well, you have to wait till next Halloween for that, because I'm pretty sure that most of the Halloween candy is already put away.
Oh, well, who says can't grab a pack of M&Ms, though?
All right.
By the way, you see this top headline here on ESPN. Jags have hired Doug Marrone as their head coach, and Tom Coughlin to be the vice president of football operations.
I think that's a great move for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think bringing Tom Coughlin back, a good football guy, knows what he's talking about. I think that's a great move.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens with that.
If he's smart, he's going to pull the plug on Blake Bortles because, man, that guy, they're not going to win anything with him, man.
No.
Blake Bortles is a complete mechanical mess.
Well, hey, you know what? Tom Coughlin was the first coach of the Jaguars, and he could certainly use that magic to bring them back into their.
Yeah, he might. Hey, wasn't Blake Bortles one of our busts from our fantasy football special?
I think he was.
I think he was. You know what I think we'll do next week? We'll go back to the fantasy football special, see who our sleepers and our busts were, our bold predictions.
Oh, man.
And we'll kind of see how we did on those. How about that? I think that'd be cool for the viewing audience.
Yeah, a little return to the archives.
Yeah, see if we really do know our stuff. Put ourselves to the test here. All right, man. Well, anything you're looking forward to this week coming up here?
This week, playoff football. Hopefully the games are better. Of course, the Flyers. Oh, real quick Flyers note. Next week they have their bye week. They will have 5 days off to recover and get themselves sorted out. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, well, they're going to need that because they're playing like crap as of late.
Oh, they are.
The real Steve Mason stood up. That's all I'll say, man.
Yeah.
But no shout-outs this week. It was pretty slow with the holidays. We're going to start hitting up social media again now that we're back in full swing. Time to sign off. We thank everybody for listening. Remember, you can catch us on Facebook, on Twitter, at The Philly Pod. We're on YouTube and SoundCloud as well. Make sure you check out all of our episodes, previous and new episodes coming out. We'll catch you guys next week for another episode. I'm Dave.
I'm Mike.
Catch you guys next week on The Philly Pod.
Later.